All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Diamonds Rough podcast. I'm here with JT, and we got Champa here, new guest. Had to bring on a Browns fan. Not sure how he's doing exactly, but we'll get into it. Patriots won 38-15 against the Browns to go 3-3. And I am going to start with Champa to see how he's doing, mentally. How are you feeling?
I mean, going into it, I wasn't feeling very good about it with two of our better defensive players out. So, along with just the offense has not looked fantastic the last couple of weeks. The play calling's been kind of questionable, but with Clowney and Ward out, you could clearly tell that the defensive backs were very weak in trying to cover Myers and
Parker.
Is Myles Garrett okay? I saw he got hurt at the end of the game.
Yeah, I think he just re-injured his hand that he originally hurt in that car crash. He had a couple weeks ago.
Crazy.
But the one good thing out of this game is that he finally broke the sack record. So it took him.
If you get kicked out of your neighbor's yard for stealing their leaves,
Yeah, we can hear that, by the way.
Yeah, if there's any chance you can mute it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cut that. They won't know what we had happen right there. They'll never know.
They'll never know. Right. So now also I want to know, what are your hopes as a Browns fan for the rest of the season? Because it's obviously you got Watson, but he's gonna come back late, and it's you kind of need to.
It won't matter.
Yeah, it's gonna be too late.
They already had their easiest schedule. Their next 5 weeks before Watson comes back is, other than the Dolphins game, is just ridiculously hard. It's they play the Ravens, they play the Buccaneers, they play who else do they play? There's the Bengals one, I'm pretty sure.
You play the Bills or something, no?
I think the Bills might be on that, and that's it's a tough next 5 weeks, which is why coming out of the first 6 weeks 2-4 is just very disappointing.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do though? I feel like I don't want to say it's because you have Jacoby Brissett. But I kind of do at the same time. But it's also not his fault. I do like him. He's
been manageable, I would say. It's their defense has been very suspect compared to what they were supposed to be this year. They've struggled mightily when it comes to the run, which is why I'm surprised Stevenson didn't get more action today.
I thought they were both going for 100 today.
Yeah, Chubb could not. Hunt had 4 touches today.
That too, I was mind blown.
It was a very odd offensive scheme today for what Stefanski's just. I have been questioning his play calling all year, and he adds to it again this week.
Do you think Stefanski has a job after this year? Sorry, John, you can go next.
Personally, I don't know if I even want him to be there, because he makes some dumb decisions. He's had suspect play calling his entire coaching career there for the Browns, but he's also in a situation where he was he wasn't thrown into it, but yeah, he kind of was. He's got Jacoby Brissett as his quarterback. It's kind of tough.
Yeah,
it's kind of tough to do anything with that.
My thing is, though, at halftime, it's 10-6. It's a close game, but I'm looking at Brissett has 45 pass attempts. And you have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, who got 16 total touches.
I don't know.
When you're down big, it makes sense to throw it a ton. But Cleveland's strength is the run game, I would say. Without Watson. And in defense to Jacoby Brissett, which is also kind of a compliment to the Patriots defense, but there were rarely any easy throws. His easy throws were for 3 yards, 4 yards. The corners and safeties were all over their weapons whenever any throw was made. And that kept adding up. I remember there was a big slant play where Cooper was wide open. It would have been 20 yards, but he dropped it. And I think it's him being frustrated because he's constantly blanketed that when he had an easy opportunity, he just wasn't ready for it.
Oh, yeah. One thing I remember was when they rushed the line on that 4th and 1.
Oh my, yes. In the beginning.
They said, well, Brissett has been successful on QB sneaks, but like it's a defensive line you don't really want to do that against. And instead of throwing Chubb out there, who's probably guaranteed to get a first down on a short game right there, you went with Brissett on a rushed play where they probably know it's going to be a QB sneak.
He also went backwards before he went forwards on the QB sneak. And yeah, the Patriots held the Lions to over 6 on 4th down. Like they were hot, and they have a ridiculous amount of confidence right now.
Yeah.
Their 4th down stops, like the last 2 weeks, their stats are insane because of the Lions game. And then like we had a couple in this game too. Like it's ridiculous. The defense is just insane, honestly. I think like easily a top 10 defense, the Pats D. Like, so definitely carrying us through a lot of these games right now. I'm not going to lie. I do think we have a decent offense, but I definitely think our strongest point is the defense. It's just ridiculous.
I think we need to talk about that. Like, people need to start knowing some of these past defenders, man. I think they just get disrespected because if most NFL fans, like, that are, like, neutral, like, I feel like they don't know that many Pats defenders because they're not household names. You know, no, we don't have, like, a Ramsey or a Donald or anything, but, like, Duggar is showing to be one of those like really, really good safeties. He seems to be there on every single play. He had an interception today. Did get burned by Njoku on one play. But Dietrich Wise is an elite defensive lineman. I believe he's clearly showing it. You know, when people think Pats D, it's Matt Judon, but like there's so many guys they have that are good. And another thing about the defense is I don't really want to hear about, you know, we need to pay X corner this amount of money. I don't need to hear it anymore. We have a 3rd round corner and a 4th round corner that were locked down today. Jonathan Jones was hurt, who's been our best corner throughout the games. And Jalen Mills comes in and he's fine. Like, unless your corner is like a Jalen Ramsey type where he is actually locked down and you can put him on the best receiver and you really don't have to worry about it. Obviously he has his games, but in general, it's not worth paying a corner as much as JC Jackson made.
Bill was totally right about that the whole time, and everybody hated on him for it when it happened.
I was one who believed that. I was very in on that of, you know, JC Jackson plays Stephon Diggs 3 times a year and he needs safety help. He's not one of those corners. He's like, I felt like JC Jackson was kind of like what people thought Trayvon Diggs was of the Trayvon Diggs supporters, where like he gets a bunch of interceptions and is pretty good in coverage. Whereas with Trayvon Diggs last year, he got a lot of interceptions, but really wasn't a good cover corner. But yeah, I mean, you know, this isn't to like crap on JC Jackson. He is very good, but I don't feel super content if he's my number 1 corner. And he's making
JC.
Yeah, I mean, but JC's making like his money is what we're spending on all our corners pretty much. And our cornerback room is disgusting.
I think the Browns made him. I mean, I love Ward, but I think they paid him too much. He's not shown he's that number 1 top 5 corner, which is what he got paid to be this year so far. Other than maybe last week, he was kind of locked down last week, but he got hurt. He had a concussion, supposedly. I don't know when he would have gotten it because that randomly popped up this week.
Well, they're obviously being super strict with the concussions because of Tua, because they're on watch.
Everyone
watching.
The
NFL is on watch for what that happened.
I'm surprised Teddy Bridgewater made it into the game this week.
I know. He played okay. He threw a pick immediately.
What else is new?
Yeah.
That team has fallen apart from like they were so high in the offseason, like riding the high. Like week 1 happened, and then now they've just crashed so hard.
Weren't they? They're like rushing Tua back, right? He's supposed to be ready next week.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Because they're panicking.
They need it.
Yeah, they started 3-0, and everyone's like, "Yo, Dolphins are legit." Then Tua gets hurt.
Oh my God, the Dolphins are bad.
Oh my God, the Dolphins aren't good.
I don't know who their 3rd string was, but he was
Skylar Thompson. He's a 7th round rookie.
not getting it done. I looked at some of those stats. Yikes.
Yeah, he's definitely not the best late round rookie QB because we know who that is.
Enough. All right, we should move on to that topic, John. I know.
Well, that was my segue. That was my segue.
Because I know John is very excited to talk today about, our Lord and Savior Bailey Zappe.
So let me preface. Okay. Obviously, the excitement is there. I mean, this is now the third game. He had 100+ passer rating. It's very impressive. Okay. He is a late round rookie. He has exceeded all expectations, I think, from every single Patriots fan, right? And I'm not saying ride with Zappe, bench Mac. That is not what I'm saying. But what I will say is Mac has a leash now. If he does any of those dumb passes that are perfectly to a linebacker, you might have to pull him. That is what I am saying. Because in 3 games, Zappe has not thrown an interception. I know he's had fumbles, but he has not thrown an interception. He is doing things that rookies usually don't do, like, stepping up in the pocket, throwing the ball away when he actually has to. He's doing some kind of special stuff with the mobility stuff, honestly. The one play, it wasn't a touchdown because Hunter Henry was out of bounds. He stiff-armed, like, I don't know who it was, but a guy was going to sack him, and he stiff-armed him and then dotted it.
I think that was Alex Wright.
It was a big line.
Brown's rookie edge rusher.
It was big. I was like, no way.
There's no reason he should be doing that. But
I think I texted you right after that. I was like, my God.
I didn't. I was screaming. I was screaming.
And of course, Hunter Henry had to fuck it up and run out of bounds. Although he gets pushed out of bounds, which I'm like, okay.
Yeah, the announcers also didn't. They were like, great job by him getting him out of bounds. Like, wait, I don't think we can do that.
Whatever. It immediately invalidated the touchdown. So I was just like, I'm living in Spain.
But I don't think it's unreasonable to say Zappe has more potential than Mac. I'm willing to say that.
Whoa.
I'm willing to say that.
But it's tough.
The arm talent, Zappe has better arm talent.
That could be true.
And I think the mobility is better.
But the accuracy is just so iffy sometimes. He has looked really good. He has looked good.
His completion percentage has been pretty good because he was 24 of 34 today. And I think maybe 5 of those were throwaways.
John, I'm telling you, it's exactly what I said. I think the last time we talked on the podcast, I talked about this because Zappe played against the Lions and played well. And I said, it's exactly what we did with Mac last year when he was a rookie.
No, but they opened it up today.
Okay, not even people were wide open sometimes though. Like it was not.
No, but he still had to make reads today. Like last game, he was making no reads at all. Like they actually kind of opened it up today. They were throwing on first down. Like it was a different offense. They actually opened it up to him. The progression he's made in the 3 weeks from him jumping into that Packers game, him playing that Lions game, and now has been absurd.
It's impressive, but I still think it's very much in front of him where it's like he has two, 3 reads and then he's like, all right, check down or get rid of it.
No, I think it's the coaches are bringing him to success. Do not get me wrong, but
Matt Patricia, huh? Everybody thought he was going to suck.
I mean, yeah, he's been fantastic offensive coordinator. He really has, which
it's kind of weird, honestly. It's getting weird at this point. Like why it's working so well.
We were terrified.
I was. Champa, it's like what is there to be happy about when you're going into the season with that? Like there's nothing.
I mean, Bill tripled down on it. He's like, if it don't work, you blame me. And it's been working. So, but Champa, you're a Browns fan. So what would you say about the Zappe stuff? Was there anything impressive? What do you think?
I've loved Zappe since college. So
okay.
He slings it. That's what you gotta love about a quarterback like him. He's young, he can sling it, but at the same time, it's tough to evaluate with the 2 defenses he played these 2 weeks because the Browns were very, very hurt this week.
Mm-hmm.
They already lost their leading tackler a couple weeks ago at middle linebacker. They lost their two of their D linemen and their starting corner. And it's just, yes, he played insane today. Last week, it's the Lions.
Yeah, last
Very
week.
hurt.
Last week would be alarming if he didn't do well.
Yeah.
It'd be like, yeah, this guy's a career backup.
But like, I'm looking at like your next few games, and Max, well, he was questionable all this week, so there's a possibility he comes back next.
It's also a Monday night game, so he has an extra day.
So like, but like, if you look at the teams they play, the next four, they don't play a good defense until.
Sure.
If you consider the Colts defense good at this point.
No, the Jags put up like 20 something.
It goes Bears, Jets. Actually, Jets defense. I don't know how
are Jets legit? That's another question.
Are the Jets legit, or the Packers just terrible? That's the question.
I don't argue the Packers are terrible, but I think it's fair to say, like, out of those defenses, the Jets might be the best defense, and they play them twice in the next four.
Oh yeah.
I think the Colts have players, but they don't terrify. They don't scare me, right?
It's Matt Ryan as well, so
yeah.
Bill has always countered Matt Ryan extremely well.
I mean, yeah, they could. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the easiest 4-game stretch, but it's ones they need to win if you're thinking playoffs.
Which is that what you're thinking? I'm thinking a wild card, like max. I don't think we get anything better than that.
I mean,
it's tough to win your division
because the AFC North is beating up on each other.
Dude, we're all like 3-3.
So like before, when you're guaranteeing like one of the Bengals or Ravens gets the wild card spot. Now it's kind of like, well, you know, both of them are losing to teams they shouldn't, and then they beat up on each other. So it is kind of interesting. Like maybe a wild card spot opened up, and Miami's having their struggles, which that was another team that you're like, that wild card could be there.
Chargers.
You know, there's no one in the AFC South.
Oh yeah.
AFC West. AFC West is like, what are the Raiders? They have some issues.
They're bad.
Chargers are just hurt. Everyone was guaranteeing that. And Denver, obviously, they're not riding.
No, they're not riding at all, John.
so there's question marks. I mean, JT and I both predicted 3-3 at this point, but completely different storylines, and the other teams are not doing what we expected. So expectations are a little different. Maybe they can sneak in.
I think definitely coming into this year, you were pretty low on us, but now that we've had some games and you can see there's definitely some players on this team, and the fact it doesn't come down to like the quarterback being the problem right now is kind of a great feeling, and I hope we can keep feeling like that for a while and not have it revert to controversy and, you know, some of the red flags we were having with Mac before all this started happening. So
it's just really scary, but because like, if you were to ask me my record with Zappe and my record with Mac, I don't know who gets the better record. I'm like worried about Mac coming back because it's kind of worrying that Zappe comes in and like he brought this new energy and everyone seems to like him just as much as they were claiming they liked Mac. And I wonder if Mac got a bit of an ego year 2 that they weren't liking. Part of me's wondered that.
Yeah, he has been acting a little entitled this year for sure.
And I think the Pats are loving this Zappe thing because it's like it's almost putting Mac in check.
It also just gives us another reason not to pay him.
Oh, for sure.
The problem with this so-called battle conversation with it is Mac's only a year and 4 games in.
Yeah, no, like
he showed potential last year. Zappe, like, at what point do teams start to play it more towards Zappe and try? Because I guarantee you the Browns. I already know that the Browns practice this week preparing for the run. I know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Because they literally dedicated a practice on strength and against the run because of Eckler putting up 175 rushing yards last week against them.
Jeez.
And
good to know.
Yeah. That's why I thought Ramondre was going for like 125 at least. I was expecting like 150 total yards for him.
Nah, honestly, your D line was kind of locking it down for a bit.
It's pretty much just Garrett.
Yeah, he's
he
incredible.
He
He's
was
such
wild.
an athlete. He's like Judon, but on steroids. It's so sick to watch.
All right, I'm gonna bring up a question that might piss you off, but what's the trade price for Zappe now?
What?
What's the trade? If a team was like, we want Bailey Zappe, what deal are you taking as a Patriot player?
I mean, if it's Bill making the decision, he's taking like he'll take a 5th round pick in return. I guarantee it.
No way.
I'm just kidding.
They drafted him in the 4th. It's got to be like, I think it has to be at least a 2nd.
I was gonna say a 3rd and a 5th.
Somewhere in between there.
A 3rd and a 5th. I wouldn't do that. I know I was the lowest on this pick out of every guy, but I have changed on it after seeing him.
I told you when we drafted him this was going to work out.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did, because I told you
you graded it a 3 out of 10. Shut up. It is recorded. You can't switch this on me. You can't go, I told you this was going to work when you said it was a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, but you were still, I would have said higher, but you were bringing me so far down.
No. This narrative is not happening that JT was right about this. He absolutely was not.
Still give a higher score, though, just saying.
Sure. I think you literally said in that, I'm going to give you a higher one just in case it works out. I'm pretty sure you actually said that.
Perfect. Then that's perfect evidence.
Oh my gosh. But really, I wouldn't even do a 3rd and a 5th. I need more, truthfully.
I don't think we ever trade him, or at least not now.
I mean, what's the point?
Yeah, like, why would we trade him? Who would want him? That would be my question.
Panthers.
I think they just tank this year and go for a quarterback.
I mean, I would assume, but I'm saying you never know, right? Like, this would obviously be in the future. I'm saying, like, say Zappe never played a game for the rest of the year and they went with Mac and Mac was good, right? Because that's the only reason you trade Zappe is Mac's the guy. And then next year, say like Pittsburgh's playing and Pickett's just horrendous and the draft's gone by and, maybe their team's better and they're like, what's Zappe going for? That could be a situation,
So you think he's at least like Jimmy Garoppolo worth when we traded him?
No.
How is that crazy?
No.
Jimmy had a lot more experience though. Like,
he also proved a lot more.
Yeah.
Zappe's also would be in the 2nd year of his rookie deal.
Well,
did he prove more? Because Garoppolo played what, 1.5 games?
I think he played more than that. No, I think
he played 1.5 games as the starter.
There were multiple games where Brady was out, and I think he had to play. But maybe I'm tripping.
Didn't Brady get hurt?
Well, he played like week 17 games, but never showed anything. The one time he showed anything was the end of that KC game, and then every single person was claiming to start Garoppolo over Brady, and that's when the on to Cincinnati stuff happened. Then the suspension happened. Week 1 going up against the Cardinals in Arizona, who everyone thought the Cardinals were making the Super Bowl, and they had a terrible year. But everyone thought the Cardinals were making the Super Bowl, so they were like, no way the Pats win. And Garoppolo made some nice plays, nice throws, so everyone was watching him. And then in week 2, they played the Dolphins at home, and I think he had like 200-something yards and 3 TDs in the first half. But then he got hurt.
For Brissett, right?
Yeah. He got hurt.
Funny enough.
So then it was the question of Jimmy G, because he played a week and a half of amazing football, and San Fran was desperate enough. So I'm saying in this circumstance, let's say Mac plays next week and he's great and he plays the rest of the season. Looking at next year, you see Bailey Zappe and you go, he's the 2nd year of his rookie deal. He played 2.5 games, showed a lot of good, valuable stuff. I think that's at least a 2nd round pick because we've seen it with Jimmy G.
You know who I think would deal for that, low key? Like, this is gonna be kind of out there, but you just have to hear me out.
I think I know you're gonna say
Green Bay Packers.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Because Aaron Rodgers is definitely retiring after this year. He's already said that. So I think and they do not like Jordan Love from what I've heard and read. So that doesn't look like a good thing happening. So I wouldn't be surprised if they dealt for something. I don't know if it would be Zappe, but
I'm just saying it's interesting. I think you've already gotten your return on investment if you want to get rid of him being a 4th round pick.
Oh, great pick, by the way.
Just from 2 games. But
Champa, were you going to say something?
I don't know if the Packers will do it. I think they're in on Love.
You
really?
think so?
Yeah. Why pick him?
We all make mistakes, right?
Like, come on, like.
I mean, the Eagles picked Rager.
Listen, we drafted N'Keal Harry. You can make mistakes first round. Come on.
He scored last week for the Vikings. Rager.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's the Vikings actually could be a team this year. They're 5-1.
This was just a wild week of football, man.
I think we play them on Thanksgiving, low-key.
We do, yeah.
I think we get them on Thanksgiving. That's going to be a great game to watch.
But it was just a wild week of football. Giants are 5-1. Jets are 4-2. New York is
5-1.
Yeah, they're just happy right now. Most of their sports teams are doing great.
Yeah, that's definitely. I don't know how to feel about that though, because the Giants did get a good win, I will say, over the Ravens.
They're still hurt.
The thing about the Jets game is like, I don't understand. Like, what is wrong with the Packers?
Receiving core can't get open.
Like, it has to be more than that though. Like offensive scheme from the head coach to Rodgers. Like, I don't know if Rodgers is kind of checked out now. I don't know.
That's what I would think, but at the same time, he makes these great throws sometimes. So it's definitely a weird thing, but it is early. They're probably really trying to figure it out because you got to think their offense was built around just feed Devontae Adams as much as you can, and Lazard's there to help. And now it's like, okay, you have 2 rookie wideouts and Lazard, and we're just trying to figure it out. We're trying to use these 2 running backs as much as we can. So I think they're just having issues.
But again, Cobb got hurt this week too.
What's the Jets?
Yeah, that's
man?
true.
Come on.
I think the Jets are actually I'm not gonna say legit, but they're not a trash can anymore.
Okay, it's Zach Wilson though. I have the problem with.
He had 110 passing yards today,
and that's it though. That's all. Dude, that's 8 for 10. Give me a no. It's 8 for 16. Give me a break.
Yeah, the run game is their strength.
Yeah, but you can't beat good teams like that. The Packers
beat the Bills with Mac having 3 completions.
Okay, well, listen, Allen couldn't throw in that game either. He got under 10 completions.
My point is, the Pats have won how many games doing Pop Warner football, and you're saying it can't work?
All right, we're not talking about the Pats, though. We're talking about the Jets.
But that's literally how the Giants and the Jets have been playing this season.
Defense. That's it.
It's defense and run game.
100%.
That's how both of them have been playing. I know we hate to see them succeed, but you got to respect it.
Until they beat us, I will continue to shit on them.
Well, you'll see next week.
It's like a week or 2.
2 weeks.
Is it 2 weeks?
We got the Bears.
The Bears.
Oh, yeah, you got the Bears next.
So,
that's it. Come on,
we're hopefully looking above 500. That it's going to be awkward if we have to come back here, JT, and it's Zap had 3 interceptions and we lost to the Bears.
If Justin Fields throws for a touchdown, then there's a problem.
If Justin Fields, if this is his coming out game, I'm going to cry.
Imagine N'Keal Harry plays and actually just runs all over us.
N'Keal Harry revenge game?
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh, jeez.
I was expecting a little bit of a Brissett revenge game, but that
was not.
That was not what I expected at all. I don't know.
All I gotta say is I think the tight ends want to keep Zappe in there.
Yeah, I was going to say that was another thing I noticed today, though, about to get back to the topic of this podcast. I think that the Pats, one thing Zappe did do a good job of was mixing it around to everybody, both tight ends involved, 2 of our main receivers involved, Thornton involved. By the way, shout out to
we didn't talk about him.
2 touchdowns as a rookie. very cool things. He's extremely fast. He's a small
His
frame.
route running's great.
He's a very fast guy. I really like him already.
The thing I did want to say is how often do you have a rookie class impact the game as much as the Patriots rookie class did? Because you got to think Zappe had 309 yards, 2 TDs. Tyquan Thorne had 2 touchdowns. Marcus and Jack Jones were locked down in the corner positions. Cole Strange was flawless again, and Schooler got the fumble recovery. That's 6 rookies making major impacts on the game.
Schooler was undrafted, right? He's just coming.
Yeah.
He's just a classic special teamer. He's like Corey.
Yeah, he's your ideal gunner, you know? That's why we got rid of Bethel. He's a cheaper option and just as good, if not better. But
facts.
Honestly, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think some positive for the Browns. I mean, Amari Cooper is definitely a guy. I'm not going to lie. He's very good. Like I was skeptical going into it, but then I kind of watched him play, and like he definitely had some really good plays. Like I think he's
also had that drop.
Receivers, and then Njoku's obviously just such an animal. I'm slightly jealous. Like Njoku is what I want Jonnu to be, but he's not.
John did have a good game though.
Yeah, he did, but he's not Njoku. That's like what I want.
He needed to prove something though with the money he got this year, and he has so far. Peoples-Jones is playing consistently average.
He's so dumb. He's so dumb for hitting that ball out of bounds.
And then,
he was probably so mad. That just looked like he was so frustrated.
He just flicked the ball out of bounds. I was like, what are you doing, dude? It's literally rolling out, and you just hit it forwards, like, or backwards.
Yeah, but Shannon, anything you want to say to Browns fans out there, you know?
Hopefully Watson can save their season, and they can survive up until then.
I'll tell you what else is.
They would just have to win out when Watson comes back, right?
Well, they would, because their schedule the next 5 weeks is Ravens, Bengals, Dolphins, Bills, Bucks, and then Watson comes back for the Texans.
What do you need to go there to be like alive? Like, would you need to go 3-3 or like 2-3 or 2-4?
Considering they're 2-4, I would say they need to beat the Dolphins and either the Bengals or the Ravens, and they would have a chance for the division still.
Throw the Bucks in there too.
Throw the Bucks in there.
The Bucks lost to Pittsburgh this week. They lost to Pittsburgh.
Their strength is their rush defense, which is all the Browns.
No, he's smart because when you doubt Brady, that's when he starts. He doesn't want to doubt Brady.
All right, fair enough.
Never doubt Brady.
He was fired up after losing that game. I would be too, though, because Kenny Pickett got hurt halfway through the game, and Trubisky came back in, and they still lost.
Trubisky came in to save the day.
So I think the only roadmap is the best roadmap for Browns is they'd have to go like 3-2 somehow, which would put them at 5-6, and then they'd have to like win out.
I mean, their schedule at the end of the year is not bad. Once Watson comes back, it's at Texas, which should be a win if Watson can.
You have 3 freebies.
Yeah.
In Texans, Steelers,
Bengals and Ravens should be fine. Commanders and Steelers, they should realistically win both of those games.
And Saints, you probably should.
Yeah. But it's tough because they haven't had Winston for what?
Watson.
They were saying that Dalton might start now.
I don't know if that's because he was still questioned. They only put him on the roster this week because they didn't have enough healthy players to actually have 48 players for the game today. So they just threw Winston on there.
They're such a weird organization. Like,
it's
always over the cap, always doing weird position stuff. Players are always hurt. Like, such a weird organization.
Yeah, they need to check out that training staff. I don't know what they're doing to help those guys.
All right.
Yeah,
so,
it was fun, boys. What are you saying, Champa?
That Christian Barmore injury. Have you heard anything about it?
I didn't. I haven't not seen anything. No, I was kind of worried about that.
It's kind of
that could be a bad blow.
Honestly, not really. He hasn't been good at all this year.
Oh,
he's been very disappointing, actually. But obviously he has a lot of potential in terms of he's a very good pass rusher. I think it's frustrating because his rush defense has not been good at all, and I think that's why the Patriots don't play him nearly as much as we'd hope. Because that's, the Pats are all about bend, don't break. So if Barmore's in there and he can't stop the run and they get 8-yard chunk plays on the run, the Pats are like, we don't want to play him at all unless we know it's a passing situation. So it'd be more of a tough blow because we want him to keep developing and he has a chance to be some good. But as far as the defense this year, I think it's not a terrible loss. But
he also just gets double teamed at like one of the highest rates, like as a D tackle. Like it's just not fair sometimes for him, and he's getting beat up a lot. So I'm not. It's a knee injury. I just looked it up. It's a knee injury. So we'll see what ends up happening. We'll probably hear like Monday or Tuesday.
yeah. All right. I think we'll wrap it up here. But this was good.
Awesome.
Exciting stuff to be a Patriots fan, I guess. The storylines are what makes it exciting.
I love the quarterback stuff. It's interesting.
It's definitely interesting. It's entertaining. It makes for good content. But
Very Brady.
had to throw that in there.
Hey, we had to throw it in at some point.
That's what I hate though about it is that people compare it to that. I'm like, and as soon as you start doing that, it's immediately.
That's so
Dude, it was
Brady.
also last year. Last year, everyone watched Max and like, dude, this was just like Brady. What he did. It's like,
but this is
stop.
like- this is like the perfect storyline to match the Bledsoe Brady storyline.
Which is the worst part
Dak
about
got
it.
hurt, and then Zappe comes in and he's winning them games.
Because then people look at it and they're like, well, we know it can be done because it was done 20 years ago. or there's Zappe's done better than Brady's first few games, so maybe he's gonna be better. It's like, dude, stop, please. But
He did break records in
oh
college.
jeez.
Joe Burrow, in fact.
But if Matt can't play Monday, I'm still feeling good. And
I mean,
it's just gonna
I'd feel good with Hoyer going in against the Bears.
it's just gonna increase the storyline though. If like Zappe plays, it does another one of these types of games. And it's like, oh no. But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully Monday it's another win and we can come back on here and be happy. But thank you everyone for listening and tune in next time.